In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these really popular Christmas trees that people are making right now. We've made 3 different variations of them, but the construction is the same in every one. I'm also going to provide you plans on how to make these, so let's get started. Now, over the years, I have done a few different Christmas type projects, and they were a lot of fun. But this one's going to be a little different. So this one, they're really popular right now. I've been seeing them on some Facebook groups I'm in, and they're just a really trendy thing. I think partially because they are easy to make, and partially just because they look kind of cool and there's a lot you can do with them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut all the boards to size. Now, all the angles are 22.5 degrees where the limbs are. And then at the top, at the peak, those angles are 45 degrees. Now, you'll see in the plans that I have the different length measurements, and all this could be adjusted. I would recommend trying to not adjust the angles. So you could adjust lengths. It would take a little bit of math. I actually designed mine in a CAD software, and that's how I came up with the different lengths of the pieces and made sure that the angles would work. And the reason I wanted to use the 22.5 and the 45 is those are fairly easy angles to cut on a miter saw, and that's what we're going to be using. So I wanted to make sure that we could cut everything we needed to easily. Got everything sanded. Now I'm trying to decide, since I'm doing 3 of these, I was trying to decide on the color. And what I decided was I'm going to make 2 of them with this early American color, and I'm going to make 1 of them with a weathered gray. That way I have some options. I have a few different ideas on how I want these to look, and so I think that those 2 colors will work well with it and give me a little bit of variety. So if I don't like one of the designs with one color, I can maybe switch it up to another. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully that works out okay. The next step is assembly. Now, we want to create an overlap, and it's a little bit tricky. You got to make sure you have the pieces lined up the way they're supposed to be. What we're going to do is we're going to overlap these, and then we are going to put a little glue on them, and then we're going to tack them with a nail gun. Now, you wouldn't necessarily have to tack them with a nail gun. If you don't have one, you could use hammer and nails. The only problem is, tried to actually use hammer and nails on the first one I was making, and where I ran into a problem was the 45-degree angle pieces at the top of the tree. There's no way to really clamp those, and it's really difficult to hammer a nail in on an angle like that without some kind of a jig being made. And so that's when I decided that maybe just a nail gun would be better for everything. Now, if you were to build jigs that clamped everything in place, you could still probably use nails, but I didn't have that. I didn't really want to take the time to make the jigs because the nail gun would just save all the time that I would need. All right, so I discovered something when I was making, so I'm making 3 of these, and I discovered something when I was making one of them that I didn't do it quite right. So let's take a look here. These angles matter. So it's a little confusing when you're going to put these together, because I'm looking at the plans and I'm trying to make sure that I have the angles right. And what I didn't realize was, as the tree goes up, I accidentally made one where this is on the outside instead of like this. So as the tree goes up, it should jag down, back in, down again. Instead, I had it like this, and it would have not made sense. And I thought when I put it together, I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter because if I do it wrong, so here's wrong, I can just flip it over and it'll be right. No, it's still wrong. It does not matter how you flip it, it's still wrong. And so I have a tip in case when you go to put these together. I just have a tip that will help with this. Get it laid out exactly how you want it. So I want mine like this, and mostly it's these lower pieces. The peak is easy. It's you can't really you could screw it up, but it's pretty easy. But these can get a little confusing because the angle here, and do I have the angles turned the right way? I don't want it like this. The angles are wrong. So what I would recommend doing, if you're just building a few of these, what I would do is I would actually, once you get it how you want it, don't put glue on it, nothing. And then just come in and write a letter once you get them to match. So I want this, like this. So I'm gonna write A and an A. And then I'll know when I go to put it together, if the two A's don't face each other, then it's not right. Same thing here. I would write B and B. And then if the B's aren't facing each other, I have something turned the wrong way. So I know now this looks right. I would feel great putting this together. So one tip I do have, though, is if you were going to mass produce these, what I would do is I'd get a piece of plywood, let's say, and I would build one, and then I would clamp boards. So I clamp a board in this corner, clamp a piece in this corner, this corner, this corner, and so on, and then clamp pieces on the outside. So all I would need to do is I would need to just come in, set this piece in here like this, and it would fit right where it needs to go. I could bring this piece in, set it in between those boards. It would fit right, and keep doing that. And then what I could do is, put glue on this, nail, glue on this, nail, and so on. And it would speed up the assembly because you aren't fidgeting with it. You really wouldn't even need to probably measure these if you did it right. You would just know exactly. You'd slide this into place, and it would be right where you wanted it. And then you could fasten it, and it would just save a lot of assembly time. So just a couple tips when you're putting these together. That is what I would do. Having said that, I think we're ready to assemble this one since I now have things the way they're supposed to be. So I'm going to finish this up and we'll get on with the rest of the build. So for one of these, we're going to turn it into a wine glass holder and wine bottle holder. And I just cut one of the leftover pieces from all this and into something that would fit into this spot. Now, the nice thing is, all these angles were 22.5. These angles here are also 22.5. So it fits really nice and snug. Looks really good. So what I got to figure out is where these wine bottles or glass stems need to go. Put one on each side, and then we'll have a wine bottle in the middle here. So I'm trying to determine how far over towards the edge we can go. I don't want the bottle to be resting on the lip of the glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out on a CNC. But you could use a bandsaw, jigsaw, scroll saw, that type of thing to do this. I don't have my bandsaw here, so all I would have is a jigsaw, and I don't really want to do it on a jigsaw. I'll get a lot cleaner look with the CNC router. So we'll cut it out and be ready for assembly. I'll have to stain this thing first, but after finishing the assembly on the wine glass holder tree, I needed to put a coat of clear coat on everything just to seal it. And I wanted to do that before I did all of the decorations for it. So I took some polyacrylic, I brushed a coat of it on, and let it dry, and then we're ready to add all the details. So these are all assembled now. They're dry. Now I want to add a little bit of festivity to them, just to dress them up a little bit, give them a little bit more seasonal Christmas flair, I guess you could say. So I have some different things here I want to add to it. And the first thing I'm going to have to do, though, before I add to it, is I'm going to put some screw eyes in to hang things such as this. I have some lights. And what I've done is it's just a closed screw eye, but I'm going to pry it open a little bit with some pliers just so I can hang things in there and then reclose it so that it stays in place and doesn't continually fall out. So that's the next step, and then we'll move on from there. We're going to take some spray adhesive here, and I'm going to glue down this snow. And I got to figure out how to attach this. It has a metal lip, so this bottom isn't flat. Didn't catch that when I bought it. Not exactly positive how the best way to do that is, other than maybe super glue it down, hot glue it down. Hot glue would be good. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use hot glue. I get my glue gun out. We'll goop it up here and set it on, and it should be fine. And that might just be the easiest way to glue these trees on as well. So first thing though, let's get some snow down. I just bought these. It's called snowflakes. I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not sure if I like it, but it's what we've got. So that's what we're going to work with. So just spray adhesive. My thought is stick the snow down first. I can always peel away. This didn't stick. I can always peel top layers off if I want to. So then this will sit down in. And then these will sit down in. Give it a little nice snowy scene for like kind of a country style. So I'm going to get this hot glue gun warmed up. Okay, so the glue gun is heated up. I got to decide exactly where this is going to go, make some space. I'm thinking somewhere right in here. So I'm gonna peel away some of this snow that is in front of it and underneath it. My thought is build up these corners. At this point, I don't even care if that dries. Pretty good as long as nobody tries to pick it up by it. So now let's get some trees in there. I'm thinking just snow might be a little too deep. I want to be able to see the trees. So I'm pulling this a little bit off the top here. I don't know how well this stuff will stay. I was initially thinking like flocking the bottom of it, and I didn't find any flock, and so I saw this stuff and I thought, well, let's try it. I think it'll work. So let's just do this. There's no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting stuff. Yeah, so there you have it. We got one of them done. I have a few little strings I see hanging from the glue gun when I moved it around behind. But I'm pretty happy with how that one turned out. We're gonna do this gray one next. We're gonna hang some lights on it. And then this one, the wine holder, I think we're just gonna dress up the top because you have to be able to access the wine bottles or the wine bottle and the glasses. And so I can't put a whole lot on that one. Hey, so I've actually been telling you for the last couple of videos, I have a really exciting announcement that is coming, and I'm ready to drop the first part of that announcement. So what we are creating is called the Stone and Timber Guild. Now, what this guild is it's going to be a portion of my website where you can go in and join a community of like-minded woodworkers, and you can converse with people, build, relationships with a common theme in mind, which is woodworking and your passion for it. And my desire for this is to give a place for people to go that is helpful, especially for beginners. I'm in members of some Facebook groups, woodworking Facebook groups, and everybody's so critical of each other, and they don't consider the fact that sometimes people haven't done this before. They're beginners. They're not sure what they're doing. And I just wanted to give a place for those conversations to happen where they don't have to apologize because they don't know what a miter saw is, or they don't know how to glue two boards together. We shouldn't have to apologize for this as woodworkers. We should be looking to help people expand their craft and learn how to be efficient woodworkers. And so I wanted to provide just a place that people could gather online and do that. Along with that, I'm actually going to have all my plans that I have made in past videos. They're going to be in there. I'm going to release some online courses that are coming soon. One is going to be about CNC work. I have a few other planned that are not specific for CNC. They're more for general woodworking that I think will help everybody. Those are all things that are coming down the line. Not quite ready yet, but I did want to let you know about the Stone and Timber Guild and that it is coming. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited about it. and it should be rolling out in the next few weeks. I'll put a link down in the description to get you there. But just keep in mind if you get there soon after this video is released, we aren't on our full rollout phase yet. So if it feels a little empty, that's why. But it's gonna grow like crazy. I'm super excited about it, and I'm excited to get to know all of you a lot better. So let's get back to the video. So for this one, I found these fairy lights on Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description, but the reason I bought these is they actually come with a USB end, and you can plug this into the wall. I've used fairy lights and other things before. One of the past Christmas projects we've done had fairy lights in them. They were all battery powered, and the problem with them is they lose the battery drains so fast that it just becomes kind of expensive to even turn them on, and I didn't like that. So I thought these would be a little bit better. Now, the only issue I see with these is I don't remember how long this was, but it seems very long. So, and they're also very easily tangled. So I have to get a little creative when hanging these on this one. But I'm going to do a similar thing where I'm going to put hooks on the inside here so that I can zigzag it inside. I'm probably going to wrap it around the actual wood as well. Just take up some space to light it up some more. Because, I mean, you got to use it all or it's going to look weird. I don't think I can cut this. So that's kind of the plan. Then I think when we're done, this stuff going across the middle, we're going to hang some little Christmas balls. I got these. We'll see how they turn out. If I don't like it, we can always take it off. But it was just an idea I had when I was in the store. So I'm going to hang all the screws eyes in just like I did the other one. And I won't bore you with that part. It's the same exact process. And we'll just get on to finishing this up. All right, so I have all the hooks in. Now I put more in on this one. And all I'm going to do now is try to untangle this and start wrapping it. What a mess. Okay, I finally got these things untangled. So I'm going to start here. And this stuff is really, it's just like wire. So like you can just wrap it. So it will hold in place. So I'm just going to double it over every time I get to one of these. Oh man. No. One thing you gotta watch is don't get yourself all tangled up again. So this is the only drawback to these is it's such a fine wire. It's easy to get yourself tangled. Okay, so I finished wrapping this up. I just basically kept going around. I tried to encircle each piece 3 times here. And then with the excess, I just zigzag back down through. until I used up all of the lights. Now I could have probably stapled them on the back of here as well. I thought that the hooks though would make it nice to make it zigzag and hold a little bit better, and then you don't risk going through the wire. So what I did is this is the end, and I just took a cell phone charger. So I use a cell phone charger as a plug. Now I'm going to get over here out of the way, and there's a button on the USB plug that turns it on, and so you can see they kind of are twinkling right now, but there's other settings. Maybe I should shut these lights off so we can see this a little bit better. And every time I press the button, it changes. There's the off. So I kind of like that one. It gives a little twinkle here. Now, the only thing left to do is I'm going to add some pine look to the top here. So something kind of like this. And I'm going to hang these balls on here. Now you wouldn't have to do any of this. I think it looks pretty good actually. Just actually kind of the way it is. But just want to show the different things you could do to these to make them all somewhat unique. Now, one other thing with this is it comes with a remote, so I can turn it off, I can turn it on. So all these presets, I don't really know. It takes some experiment to figure out exactly what each preset does. Then there's a brightness and a dim. And then there's also a timer, and I'm not sure, I didn't read the instructions, but oh, it actually says do not hang other decorations on cord, wire, light, or string. So I probably shouldn't have hung those on there. I just read the instructions. What you could do though, instead of that, is you could still run the lights the same way, but you could run just a little piece of wire down through and hang these from the wire. I guess it helps a little bit to read instructions before you start, but oh, okay, the timer, 6 hours on, 18 hours off is what it says. I don't know. That is pretty much all you need to know. Instructions tell you how to use it. I like these actually, and like I said, they're better than the ones where you have to change a battery all the time, because they would last maybe an evening, maybe a day, and then you'd have to change them. It was awful. So it has a decent length cord. Will work much better than the battery powered. So I do actually like these. Probably long enough, honestly. If you wanted to put them on your Christmas tree, you probably could. But so that's two of them. Now, one other thing I think I want to add is this to the top of this. I think that may work actually better on the other one. I do have these as well, but I'm not exactly sure how to attach them. I kind of like that actually. What if I cut this back and one could go each way, like about like that? Kind of adds to it. I think that actually looks really nice. So I'm going to try to figure out how to attach that. Well, that's got wire in it. That could be helpful. See if we can figure this out here. It's kind of a little thick, and I can't get it right where I want it. Looks like there's a wire right here. I don't need this much length. Just some side cutters and see what's inside. If I cut it back anymore, I'm probably going to lose some of this. In fact, I may need to hot glue this back together. But to me, that looks better. Even just one. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue that. Okay, so the glue gun is warm. Now what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of opening this eyelet up right here a little bit. Running that up through there. And just fixing it in place with a glue gun. So it's actually up there right now without the glue, but I think that it needs it. So I'm going to just put some on the back side of here. Hold it in place for a second. The glue gun will help keep it right where it needs to be. So let's go back to the lights. See how it looks. It looks pretty good. I actually really like that. So again, all this stuff I got at Hobby Lobby. It's a really good time right now to get it. And last week, all the Christmas stuff, all this was 50% off. I think my understanding is with Hobby Lobby, the sales cycle. So like this week it won't be on sale, and maybe next week it will again. So you may want to check. But the ornament over here was maybe $2. The trees didn't cost much. So the trees, package of trees is normally $3, so they were $1.50. All this stuff was very minimal cost. I think the most expensive thing I got was this garland thing here, and it was on sale. It was the sale price was about $3.50. So very, very reasonably priced if you can get it on sale. The whole box of Christmas balls normally $6, so they were $3. So the last one we have to do is the wine holder. Now, I actually need to go buy a bottle of wine for this so we can put it on display. So I'm going to do that, but I also have to decide, I want to add some kind of decor to it. So either it's going to be something like this, or it's going to be the same thing we just did. We could add just something simple like that. You could also, even on this bottom area here, I could put the snow in. There's plenty of options you could do, variations of these. But let me go get a bottle of wine, and then we'll finish this up. All right, for the last one, we have the wine holder. So this has been cut to hold 2 bottles or 2 glasses, and then in between, and this is just barely going to fit this style of bottle. I had planned on just a normal bottle. This one's a little bit taller, but it still fits, and it doesn't interfere with the bases of the wine glasses. So now I got to decide, what am I going to do just to add a little decoration if it needs it, which I think it should have something. So is it going to be that? Is it going to be this? I think that's too much. So I'm almost thinking we're going to go with one of these again. I may cut this one back again, probably how I did the last one, and we'll fix it on in a similar manner. And it should be good, and we'll have 3 different ones to show you here and see which one you guys like best. See how it looks? The glasses back on. I'll bring this in from the back side. I think it'll just fit in a lot nicer. And now you have a nice bottle of wine on display with glasses for company, for just the season. Looks nice. You could do any of these designs. You could mix and match. They would all work. And if you were wanting to sell these or make them as gifts, they would sell well, I'm sure. Use your imagination. You can see what can happen. A lot of different varieties, and they're kind of fun to make. They're very simple. I definitely think they're a beginner project. The hardest part is cutting the angles, but that's not that difficult. So if you have any questions, drop them down there in the comments. And check these videos that are coming up here. I'm going to post some more the videos that we've done in the past that are Christmas type crafts and decor. Might give you some other ideas of the things you might want to make for the winter season here, for some just nice Christmas holiday type decor. Aside from that, we'll catch you next time.